Hovians, and welcome to my review of The Ghost Monument, where today we will be reviewing episode 2 of series 11 while I'm still catching up with it. And later on we will have the review of Rosa, so please do stick around for that. But anyways, let's get into this. So, The Ghost Monument. Right, so I'm just going to talk about side characters first. Oh, just quick note, I doubt this will be as long as the last video was as well, but I'm not going to make any promises. But I think this will probably end up being one of the shortest reviews yet. But I've said that quite a lot, so yeah. But without further ado, let's get into the review. So, the side characters, I really like them. I mean, well, I like with the job they were given, I really liked them. I thought they were very good at that. No, can't remember any of their names, but they were both good at acting. I liked all the side characters, to be honest, up until Arachnis in the UK. But that's further ahead. So yeah, so side characters very good. The man played really well at being a bit of an idiot, but had those scenes where you could kind of sympathise with him. With the him falling on the tree and breaking his limbs, and his mother basically letting him down, which, you know, is a nice scene, and it helped you sympathise and understand the character better. Even so, he's still a bit of a he wasn't a very likeable character. That's good, because that's how Chibnall obviously wanted him. And the other one, yeah, she was decent. There was nothing amazingly special. Again, you could sympathise with her because her family is in, hiding and under attack from the Stenza, which is mentioned in this. At first viewing, I thought this was going to be a little bit of a theme. The Stenza were going to pop up and then literally physically pop up and meet the Doctor again, but they haven't been mentioned at all since this episode. But yeah, she was good. She was decent. Now gonna get onto a slight issue on Chibnall's half. So if you watched episode 1, you would understand that no pocket was mentioned quite a lot, and to be honest, it became a little bit of a meme at the end. But even though Jodie has only had access to a charity shop, which she only gone there for clothes, and it looked like she was staying in Ryan's place, she somehow had Pythagoras' glasses. Huh? You're on this planet to find your TARDIS, and you somehow have Pythagoras' glasses, even though it's mentioned numerous of times that you had empty pockets. Yeah, it didn't really make sense, that bit, and it's kind of a little bit annoying. But I just thought I would mention that. And the villain. So the villain was lacking a little bit, and it was a bit meh, and it's started off the meh villains throughout this series. But yeah, it's I mean, it did its job, but it really is a very forgettable villain. Apart from the idea, which is completely bizarre, with rags that fly. Yeah, it didn't really feel like there was much for it. I think this whole story felt way too much like it was building up, pretty much working its way towards the TARDIS reveal. And I think there should have been a little bit more of a threat. I mean, the robots. No, the robots were terrible, actually. They were the worst robots that I've seen since the Pirate Planet. But I'll get onto that a little bit later. Actually no, I won't. I'll get onto it now. But Flying Rags was a little bit ridiculous. But so yeah, so the robots, oh, they were awful. I mean, come on, you're robot soldiers with guns, and you couldn't shoot at a target which is moving. Surely your reflexes would be good enough that you wouldn't even have to. It wouldn't make a difference if you're moving a little bit left and right. And they were about 2 feet away from them, and they still didn't shoot them. It was no. The robots were terrible. They were absolutely awful. Those robots. And again, it just really made the threat feel completely irrelevant. Yeah. So yes. And while we're on to sort of like my annoying points, there was another pacing issue. Again, I'm not sure if this is a Chibnall thing. It didn't really happen in the Arachnids in the UK. The Saranga conundrum was just awful anyway, so it didn't really matter. But it was just full of dialogue. Yeah. But there was another pacing issue in this, and it just the start was incredible, but I will talk about that a little bit later. But then it slowed down after that first 10 minutes and had a lot of walking about for another 35 minutes or something, and then it built itself up to the TARDIS reveal, which is done really well. But again, I'll get onto that later. But it just I'm not sure whether it's a Chibnall thing or not, but the pacing issues can distract your view of the story, and it's probably what brings the rating down, as well as the villains and the things I've just mentioned. Yeah. So next thing that I don't really like too much about this. So if you remember, when they gone into that tent and met that man, in quotation marks this entire planet has been made cruel. Cruel? Oh my god. Cruel? Mate, it's the complete opposite of cruel. It's not complete opposite, but cruel. Hang on, let's just step back and go over the things that were presented as a threat for Atlas. So you had flying rags, which only operated in the night and tried to suffocate you, but could easily be destroyed by a knife. You had robots which could not shoot to save their lives and could be destroyed by an impulse from a device. Well, maybe not destroyed, but certainly stunned. You had C, which was some tiny flesh-eating micros, which are completely irrelevant because it wouldn't made a difference whether they said that or not. And well, that's it actually. Oh yeah, you can take the oxygen out of the mind. That's not cruel. That's not cruel. It's just trying to survive against a couple of things. Cruel was a really big over-exaggeration, and considering what came after it, you just had them walking and then sitting on a boat. Speaking of the race concept, it was a decent concept, and I quite liked that because Enlightenment, I enjoy that story, and I think it's the concept that I must enjoy about it. But it was completely chucked out of the window. There was one scene that actually reminded me, well, maybe two, but it didn't really matter, that only reminded me it was a race, and that was when the pair who were racing split up and then they met back together, and then it was chucked out the window again. And that man, he kept on sleeping. Why would you sleep in a race to win a fortune that will set you up for life? What? I don't get it. But I've got to talk about some good things. It's going to sound like I completely hate this story, which I don't. I actually really like it, if believe it or not. But there's a lot of little issues that I have with it, and it just really bugs me. If these issues weren't there, even this story could easily be a 10 out of 10. Right, so CGI was good in this, and the setting, the location used. I think it was in South Africa. This, that was all very good. It looks believable as an alien planet, and especially the opening scene, the CGI of that spaceship was brilliant. Like, it was brilliant, and overall the CGI has been very good, even in episodes like Arachnis in UK. For the amount of CGI that was used in that, it was very good. And I actually thought the Patang, that was quite good as well for CGI wise. So overall, I think the CGI has been quite good throughout this series. And the intro, I do like the intro. Again, you just know that by watching my reactions. If you do, if not, go and watch them. If you're interested, that is, of course. If not, fair enough. And the first 10 minutes was brilliant. It was probably the best 10 minutes that I can think of from the top of my head that's not either been in the premiere story or finale story. It was so good and so intriguing, and it was really, really well shot as well. And I like how they ended up getting split up, the Doctor and the Doctor and Yaz, and got split up with Graham and Ryan. I've liked that concept. It made it feel like a little bit more worrying. It was so intriguing, and especially when the spaceship crashing down, when Ryan fell over, you're like, oh no, Ryan! The 10 minutes are great. By far 10 out of 10. I've got to stop pressing that. By far 10 out of 10. The Graham with sunglasses is brilliant. I've got to say, it is brilliant. And the soundtrack throughout this is very good. And the Timeless Child. The amount of theories about that. I don't personally have a massive one. I'm just more looking for signs that could relate to it. But so I imagine there's a lot of theories. But I don't really have a massive theory. I'm more looking out for signs of it. So yes, and so the TARDIS reveal now, the main thing of this story. But before that, I'm going to leave you in a bit cliffhanger because I haven't talked about the main cast. So Yaz again was just there. She didn't really do anything at all. I highly doubt this story would be that different at all if Yaz wasn't in it. It probably would be such a minimal change when you realise. And Ryan and Graham in this was great, as always. Well, for Graham at least. Ryan's good, as always. Yeah. But yes, the Doctor, she was good in this, and they're certainly chucking in more comedy with this Doctor, and I don't think yet it's been overused. And it sometimes can be a bit difficult to make a Doctor a little bit bumbly, but not overuse the comedy. And so far, I think they've done a very good job of that. So thumbs up to YouTube and all the other writers. But yeah, so now for the main thing, so the TARDIS reveal. Oh, this was beautiful. The way it was shot and the way it was directed, everything was done so nicely. It's my second favourite TARDIS reveal. My favourite is the one in the snowman, but that's for another video if it comes round. But this was so beautifully done. You could instantly feel the love the Doctor had for the TARDIS, and it really bonded them together like it's been expressed. But you've never seen the Doctor react that way to the TARDIS. It was literally like a mother who just found its child in for the first time in like a year, unless you're Jackie. But and then you drop your mug and hug, and then slap the Doctor. But anyways, yeah, it was a really beautiful scene, and I really like it. And I thought the console was decent then, but I do like it now. But the reveal was so nicely done. Yeah. So my conclusion for the story. So it's a decent story. It's a nice story for the reveal of the TARDIS batch. Pretty much the only reason the story was done. The Ghost Monument was a very clever title. It really does work well. If all the elements of a monument and the ghost make sense because of how the TARDIS phase in and phase out. But there were issues with the stories like pacing, the sunglasses, and the villains were lacking. And yeah, there was just some issues with it. So overall, I'm going to give this story an 8 out of 10. So yeah, so thank you for watching my review of The Ghost Monument. Later today there will be a review of Rosa once I've rewatched it, and then tomorrow there will be a reveal of Arachnids in the UK, and then on Sunday, or Sunday or Monday, one of the two, there will be a reaction up of It Takes You Away. And sometime next week, between Monday and Wednesday, there'll be a preview of the Battle of Ranskoor Av Kolos, and also somewhere in that time there'll be a review of It Takes You Away. Basically, I've got a lot of content coming up, so do subscribe if you want to see any of that. Like the video if you enjoyed. What was your opinion? What was your rating? What would you rate this story out of 10? Put it down in the comments below. But for now, I am out. Bye.